The Curse of the Young Drowned Girl. This story was told to me by my great-grandmother Masha, a very wise and truly wonderful woman. As she herself admitted, it was the most mysterious and incomprehensible event she had ever witnessed. Bulino, a completely ordinary village where people lived cheerfully and rather amicably. They had never encountered anything supernatural until a certain moment. Her name was Katerina, and she was madly in love with a young man named Ivan. An ordinary story at first glance. She loved him, but he did not love her back. She suffered, while he only mocked her. Ivan was very handsome, and it was nothing new for him that some girl was going crazy over him. Everything would have gone on like that, if not for the cruel prank that Ivan and his friends invented. They decided to send Katerina a note, supposedly from Ivan, saying he would be waiting for her in the birch grove. In reality, they arranged for Arsyushka, the village fool, to meet her there, having sent him a similar note in Katerina's name. Afterwards, they spread gossip all over the village that Katerina was meeting with the fool in the birch grove. Of course, village people don't need much to believe in rumors. Someone even claimed to have seen Katerina leaving the grove with Arsyushka, crying, though no one knew why. Whispers spread through the village, slanderous talk behind her back. Katerina realized that Ivan had mocked her. One can only imagine her despair, the shame she felt before her parents. And then the man she loved would walk past her, shouting insults after her. When it happened once again, she could not bear it anymore. She ran after him, tried to hit him, to take revenge for all the pain he had caused. Like a kitten, she tried to fight him, scratching, tearing his shirt. She was in utter despair. But everyone thought she had simply gone mad. They pulled her away from Ivan, and she only managed to cry out, "You will never know happiness in love." 2 days later, the whole village learned that Katerina had drowned herself. 5 years passed. Everyone had long forgotten the poor drowned girl. Everyone except Ivan. He still felt guilty. Yet that very guilt made him change for the better. He became calmer, wiser. His parents had died, leaving him alone in their spacious house, but his solitude didn't last long. He fell in love with a young girl named Anna, who was 17 at the time. She wasn't exactly a beauty, but she had a gentle nature and a kind heart. They married and moved into the house he had inherited. It seemed nothing could destroy their happiness. But only a week after the wedding, strange things began. Every night, exactly at midnight, unexplainable events occurred. At first, just light footsteps, then sighs and sobs joined in. The house grew cold, dampness seemed to seep from nowhere, dishes clattered endlessly. But the most terrible thing was the atmosphere of horror and dread that filled the home. The newlyweds didn't know what to do or whom to turn to. No one believed them, since nothing like this had ever happened in the village before, though that didn't stop people from gossiping, and this was only the beginning. The young bride began to wither before everyone's eyes. Day by day, she grew weaker, as if life itself was slowly leaving her. A month after the wedding, she could no longer move. Doctors were baffled, unable to determine the cause of her decline. 2 months later, she died. Ivan grieved deeply, but the very next day after her death, all the strange occurrences stopped. The same thing happened again 5 years later. Ivan married once more, and again the haunting began. And again, 2 months later, he buried his wife. He realized then how destructive his love had become, and he lived out the rest of his days alone. Thus, until the very end of his life, this man was haunted by the curse of the young drowned girl.